Yo, what's up? Take a seat, grab a drink, we're going to review. My name is Don Intrepid, but you can call me Don. Or by my first name, Benjamin. Now today I just finished an extraordinary anime called One Punch Man, and quite frankly, I'm amazed by how well made it is. One Punch Man is one of the best animes to have showed up 2015. In fact, it just might be one of the best animes ever created. I think the majority can agree with such a strong statement given the following it has gotten within just a few months since its release. Even though the majority of the human population consists of fucking idiots! With my negative disposition towards humanity aside though, there's no doubt that One Punch Man has spiked in such high popularity in such a short time. The popularity has even caught up with the likes of Naruto, One Piece, and even DBZ. You even see these dumbass matchups between the main character of the series, Saitama, going against Goku. Who's doing this? Why are you making yourselves look like assholes? Whatever, we'll talk about that later. Now that introduction's out of the way, let's just see how well received One Punch Man really was. Chapter 1, the strongest reception. Now obviously many big anime hits in my time, but One Punch Man is a real game changer for the industry as a whole for what kind of story it is. The true strength of the series is that One Punch Man delivers what the audience wants while subverting expectations. After all, it was already a hit as an online webcomic. One Punch Man's creator, One, first published the series in 2009, and it made 7.9 million hits by June 2012. While not as being as many times as a hit from Wife, I mean, for such a huge success in little time, it gained attention from manga artist Yusuke Murata, who contacted One about illustrating the manga and re-releasing it. Then that turned into a big hit. Before you knew it, Studio Madhouse decided to cash in on it and turned it into an animated series. One Punch Man was bound to have a huge audience for one, and the fact that it was Studio Madhouse that was going to be running the show, hopes were high. They did a good job with Hunter x Hunter and Parasite, and for what they made out of One Punch Man, it's pretty phenomenal. The anime was just released around October 5th, 2015, and now many praise it to be the best series to come into the anime industry. They really put some love and devotion to making this comic come to life, from the intricate detail in the animation to fulfilling the original creator's vision. What was a supposed comedy turned out to be a story of intense action, resolve, and the true meaning of a hero. Now what do I mean exactly? How do such themes make themselves present in an action parody anime? How am I going to hide all this cocaine before my wife gets home? My friend, we're going to break down these questions one sniff at a time. More specifically, I'm taking a look at the first episode, then analyzing the settings, character, music, and plot. From here on out, we'll be looking at all. So spoilers, you've been warned. Chapter 2, the lone first episode.
Nani mono da, omae wa?
趣味でヒーローをやっているものだ。
Right off the bat, this series launches with a good start in episode 1. 3 minutes in, you not only have an established setting, but an established protagonist, atmosphere, and an idea with how this world works. Maybe you didn't notice it, but your brain did. A furious Piccolo-looking character named Backseat Man attacks City A with his blue balls. Oh, that's why he's mad. Next, we're taken to a control room with people that are already on the call to defend the city. They use what we presume to be heroes to defend the city. The ones they mention already get their asses kicked. Now, you might be asking, how do we know this? Well, shit, I wonder which one of these guys is Smile Man. Is it this guy? Nah, it's this guy. Anyways, after these guys get a beatdown, we then shift over to a news reporter who's analyzing the situation. Mentions something about threat level. Transitioning from the live scene to television, we find out our hero is finding out what's going on and leaves to face the problem. Right before Vaccine Man takes an innocent girl's life, a cape figure swoops in to save her, revealing himself as a hero for fun. The Vaccine Man sees this guy as a complete joke and gives a speech about his creation and his power. Finally, Vaccine Man unleashes his true form, only to be taken out with one punch by this caped hero. Surprisingly, he's frustrated with how he took the Vaccine Man out with one punch, and screams, "Damn it." The series opening theme concludes the scene. Alright, so that's only 3 minutes into episode 1. Now I'm sure you're asking yourself, but Don, can you please explain those themes you found? I wasn't paying attention, I was busy eating carrots. Sure, no problem. 1. The established setting is obviously a world that consists of easy to remember locations, with cities being named by letters. You know this because of City A being the prime target for our villain. Dragon Ball is notorious for basically doing the same thing in their world setting, but we'll discuss the setting for One Punch Man better later. 2. The protagonist is a hero that shows up to defeat Vaccine Man. I mean, fucking obviously, right? We find out this man's name is Saitama. 3. The atmosphere perfectly sets the tone for the anime as a comedy. You notice immediately with a hero comically called Smile Man, to the conclusion between Saitama and Vaccine Man. 4. This world seems to have their own counterterrorism intelligence agency, kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. from the Marvel Universe, for example. Besides Saitama, there's many other heroes that are part of this world. Also, judging from the fact that there is a scene where we see Control Room reacting immediately to Vaccine's attack, we can conclude it is the type of hero defense team that's either government or privately ran. 5. You understand that this world most likely runs on a power level format from when the reporter mentions threat level. Once again, something similar to Dragon Ball. And that's it. The opening is this wonderful mishmash of dazzling visuals, hardcore action, sneak peek at the character. This opening ends as flawlessly and leaves the audience amazed. You get a real sense that this show is going to be something different from what you're used to. It's going to be filled with good clarity, beautifully animated action, but it's all with this bald guy. Who's this bald guy? Do we have any more cocaine? Chapter 3, The Obsessive Hero. Before diving into the more complex parts of the series, meet Saitama. This is our main character, our hero, our protagonist. You know, the guy we're supposed to give a shit about for the entire series and focus our sole attention on. That type of character in the story. Now while we're still on the first episode and not yet on the series as an entirety, let's get to know this guy. During the first episode, we get his whole backstory on who he was, why he became a hero, but we mostly just wanted to find out why the hell he was bald. Coincidentally, his character is explained in a well-polished short time frame, just like the first 3 minutes of the series. Now you pugs may see this rush of exposition as a bad thing, but in the words of William Shakespeare, brevity is the soul of wit. You see, this is especially for the general public today. It's a must to usually not waste the audience's time for too much backstory exposition. Saitama was an average Joe, but unemployed and generally not happy with his life. Okay, got it. Saitama wanted to stand up for himself and a kid. That's why he's a hero. Okay, got it. He got his strength from consistent training. Okay, got it. Oh, that's how he got bald too? Whoa, killed 2 birds with 1 heavy plot device there. It's better to get the smaller details out of the way so we can spend time to see the character develop before our own eyes. The following episodes really don't dwell on Saitama's past, but rather who he is and finding his passion in being a hero. Facing countless enemies, befriending new people, and engaging in some intense fights. Regarding his whole design, Saitama's character is one that authentically feels original. We're so used to either wild characters, to pretty blonde characters, to Yu-Gi-Oh heads, and finally calm broomsticks. Hey, Shinji, stop crying! Having a bald protagonist in an anime hasn't been done before unless they were a supporting character for the most part. Besides from his looks, his characteristics also make him different from your typical main characters. A few examples include how Saitama isn't the type to pig out like most heroes in the industry like to do, isn't hopping around in excitement over every little thing, and is an overall average human being. The fact that one designed his characters to be so normal is fascinating and risky for the most part, because the truth is, and I know you weebs are gonna rage about this, but the truth is the anime audience likes characters that are unrealistic. I'll give you an example. Luffy from One Piece is pure of heart. He stays towards his goals, even risking his own life, and will do literally anything for his friends. And most of all, he's oblivious to other characters' feelings towards him, whether they're hateful or loving. Now can you look me in the eye and tell me that a lot of people actually behave this way? Of course not, but we still love Luffy and his character anyways. These unrealistic characteristics resonate beyond anime to movies, television, and books. And even shitty fan art. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Anyways, keep it on topic here, Saitama is the average Joe. Yes, I'll acknowledge the fact that his power is definitely not an average Joe power, but we of course know his strength goes beyond being able to defeat enemies with one punch. His agility is incredible, coupled with a cute perception that allows him to dodge basically anything. His endurance is an incredible sight to behold, especially with all the rare hits he takes from the Sea King to Lord Boros. But his luck, charisma, and intelligence isn't too good, so I guess I'll never finish the new Fallout. Regarding his exact power, sure we don't know exactly what his power is and how he managed to achieve it through his workout, but we can assume his power is like Superman's, unstoppable and maintains the godly power throughout the anime. He has no limits. By the way, you remember what I said about those people that try to set up a fight between him and Goku? Checkmating, motherfucker! I can see how someone can look at Saitama and not like his character. Sometimes he can seem bland or boring and somehow destroy the atmosphere of the anime. But his redeeming traits and actions show when they really count. Whether it comes to giving the other heroes credit for defeating the Sea King, or taking a stand on what it means to be a true hero against the very citizens he protects during the aftermath of the meteor accident. The final thing I'd like to talk about Saitama before concluding part 1 is why we should care about Saitama. As I mentioned before, Saitama is like Superman, except he's an actual human. Consciously knowing this, we can relate to him better. Because usually when you make a character any being that isn't human, you run the risk of making him just as inhuman as the race or creature you make him out to be. But because he's human, we don't need to worry about that. Now, if there's anything true about humans, is that we got a lot of problems. Whether it's to each our own problems, or just futile attempts to self-improve ourselves. And already in episode 1, we see Saitama's problems, how he chases towards his own self-improvement. He wanted power that would make him strong enough to blow away enemies with one punch. Now that he's attained that power he desperately desired during his training, he lost all his humanity. He's lonely. Seems to feel no emotions anymore. He even looks like a leukemia patient. All these problems for him are illustrated indirectly through how other people behave around him, directly through what himself or other characters say about his own persona. His initial passion that drove him to become a hero is long gone after he became too powerful. It's this aspect about him that I personally think is the best thing about his character. How so, you may ask? Well, you little pug, I want you to put on that thinking cap and listen up. Alright, now imagine getting the one thing in your life you ever desperately wanted, and never losing yourself just to get it. Now, knowing those feelings, you can project yourself into his character, and you can find yourself more invested into his goals and aspirations. You want to see him become expressive again. You want to see him find friends and people that care about him. You want to see him have the best fight in his life that reignites his heroic passion. You want good for him. This is an emotional connection that is established because you've gotten yourself invested in his character. You've gotten yourself invested in his character because he's a relatable person to you. To summarize my points here, Saitama is the hero the anime industry has always needed. 1. His struggles and persona are easily relatable. 2. His power can leave anyone in awe. 3. His overall design is original and has his own unique goals that differ from a typical anime protagonist. This is a character that drives people to finish the series. He's an aspirational character because of what lengths he went through just to become a hero. Chapter 4. A New Era of Criticism. Now that you're done touching yourself to the sound of my voice, you might be wondering why I spent so much time talking about the first episode in this 3-part video series about the anime as a whole. Well, because first impressions mean everything. At least in my opinion. First impressions right from the get-go, whether it comes to meeting a person or reading the first sentence of a book, can tell if you're going to enjoy the experience. And the first few minutes of any given anime, films, or television shows can be the first impression. I'll try not to derail from my point here, but I'll give you an example. The film Say Anything appeared to me as a cover of your average teen romance film in the 80s. It looked like you're someone else's take on John Hughes' film like 16 Candles. But the first few minutes already had me hooked on to finishing the entire film, and I see it as one of my personal favorites of the romantic genre. A simple Romeo and Juliet story, but feels real in every way. One-of-a-kind characters, well-executed scenes, all included with a memorable soundtrack. It's amazing when you can go into something unexpected and find yourself blown away immediately. Unlike nowadays where people hype over everything or put it down immediately without giving it a second thought.
Oh yeah, I fucking love Star Wars!
I was skeptical about One Punch Man, but I decided to give it a chance and found myself enjoying the entire series after the first episode. It was something unexpected. Just like the fact that my wife actually carries a shoe knife. Oh man, she is naughty. The point I'm trying to make here is that the rest of this series tackles much more than what little I've touched on to. As I mentioned before, the strength of One Punch Man's success is how it gives the audience what it wants while subverting expectations. You're gonna find out there is much more to this anime than meets the eye, and how exactly you were made a sucker for it. We live in an age where the media creates fear, war, and limitations between ourselves. Censorship being the biggest at the moment. We need more risk takers willing to express themselves freely, find reason, and seek to question the majority way of thinking. I found inspiration from other creators to speak my mind and break my own limitations. I'm taking my first steps in sharing my thoughts with the world by doing this review. A review of a Japanese anime called One Punch Man. My name is Don Intrepid. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for watching. Take care. See ya.